Joining us now is the Communications Director of the New Jersey Education Association, Steve Wollmer. It's good of you to come on back. By all accounts, a rather cordial day after all this, controversy.
Yeah, Mike, a lot went into this legislation, and a lot of stakeholders worked really hard. I think today's event typified what went on prior to that. NJEA, the principals and supervisors, the school boards, legislators from all over, and of course the administration worked for weeks on this, months actually. And it was a very hard effort for everybody, but they worked hard and got a good bill that's really a win-win for everybody.
Who blinked? I mean, you guys were pretty far apart.
We were. We were very happy that some of the stuff, we unveiled an education reform proposal in 2010 that had a lot of the elements of this in it, particularly getting the courts out of the teacher dismissal business and using arbitrators. Massachusetts did this 20 years ago, and they've been very happy with it. Instead of going through courts and lengthy delays, no one wants it to take 3 years and $300,000 to dismiss an ineffective teacher. That's never going to happen again in New Jersey. Now we're going to have 90 days to a hearing. If a teacher truly is ineffective, the arbitrator will so rule, and we won't ever read those kinds of stories again. Massachusetts ranks #1 in student achievement. We rank #2, so we think we're on the right trail.
The governor today, though, I've seen him quoted as saying that it's time still to go further, to push beyond this, to get rid of the last in, first out approach.
Separate issue, and certainly something that he wants to talk about. We harbor the same concerns about doing away with the seniority protections as we did with his first version of the tenure bill. He wanted to virtually take away people's right to appeal outside to a neutral third party. That's due process, and the public agrees with us that teachers must be treated fairly. These are public jobs, and they can be influenced by outside factors. So you've got to make sure people are treated fairly. We've kept that fairness standard in the bill, and that's an important thing. Same thing with seniority. If somebody decides just that Mike is a high-paid teacher and all of a sudden he's not effective anymore and we can bring somebody in at half the price, that's not good. That's not a good way to run a school system, and yet that kind of interference can take place.
Let me ask you, the last time you and I spoke, I remember saying, well, how are you going to work all these differences out? What about this line of communication with the governor? And you said to me essentially, what line of communication?
Right.
Something changed. What really changed this situation?
Well, I think, the parties worked really hard. They really did. There was an awful lot of back and forth.
I know Senator Ruiz was involved with this.
Assemblyman Dignan was a key player, lots of other folks. And then, of course, the Commissioner of Education, Surf, came in and worked very hard. Everybody rolled up their sleeves and, they ate a lot of pizza and drank a lot of coffee and worked late into the night. That's the way you make good policy. You put the stakeholders in the room. Everybody works hard. There's give, there's take. Nobody gets everything they want, but what came out of it was a bill that will be a win-win we think, for the students of the state, for teachers, and for the public. Teachers really need to support this bill because they understand that teaching requires having a team of talented people in your building. They don't want any ineffective teachers either.
Well, that's a great point. I mean, you are the union. You represent the teachers. But that doesn't mean that all the teachers are going to be happy about this, does it? I mean, what are you hearing?
Well, some teachers are concerned, but, the more they learn about this, I think the more comfortable they'll be. We've had a lot of information on our website, and we've sent a lot of information out to our members. We're disseminating it all summer long. I think as they come to understand how this will work, I think they'll be okay with it. There's still some kinks that'll have to be ironed out. We'll have to see how the evaluation process works. That's still in the works. We have 11 districts, I believe, piloting it, and another 20 coming on board. We don't know exactly what the evaluation system will be, and that's everything in a way, because how you're rated in your evaluations will determine whether or not you are taken to a dismissal hearing.
And only about 30 seconds left here. But this sense that it's the unions against the governor on this issue and on other issues. Have we turned the page right now? Do you think the relationship between your organization and the administration is qualitatively
We're still going to have our disagreements, and the governor would agree with that. But on this issue, we worked hard. We worked with his representatives, and everybody, I think, is happy with the process.
Steve Wollmer, have to leave it there. Thanks for coming in, sir.
Thanks for having me.